What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Saul Ernesto Rodas, and in today's episode, we're going to go ahead and review The Irishman, the new Martin Scorsese film that has been highly anticipated. This film was in development for almost 10 to 12 years, and all I have to say is this movie it's beautiful. One of the things that I enjoyed about this movie was just the humor, the cleverness, the drama, and just a well-rounded, entertaining movie. I know that many critics right now have said that the movie is way too long. The movie duration is about 3.5 hours. And to be honest, when I went to the movie premiere, I didn't feel most of it. I mean, there were moments where I did feel like it dragged a little. And to be quite honest with you, I could have probably trimmed a few, maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the film. But other than that, I honestly enjoyed the movie. It's a well-casted film. You have Joe Pesci, you have Robert De Niro, and then you have Al Pacino. Man, Al Pacino steals the show. I really liked his character. You grow such a big attachment with Al Pacino that, man, like, you know exactly what I mean by the end of the movie. I don't want to give out any spoilers, but I really enjoyed his chemistry between Al Pacino's character, and De Niro, and especially De Niro's daughter, Peggy. Seeing Peggy grow throughout the film and growing that attachment with Al Pacino's character is wonderful. That was perhaps one of my top favorite parts of the movie. And just be ready to see some gruesome, spontaneous shots of people dying, getting shot. It's a whole mess, but it's a hot mess, but it's really entertaining. You'll definitely enjoy it. The third act is where like it completely pays off the wait time that you have been there in theater or in Netflix, wherever you decide to watch it. If you guys don't know, the movie theaters are actually going to be rolling out this movie in selected theaters, and later on the 27th, it's going to be available for everyone who has Netflix accounts. So whether you decide to watch it in the movie theater or if you decide to watch it at home, I guess it's going to be like a different experience, because if you're watching it at home on Netflix, you could probably like, maybe if you feel like it drags a little, maybe you could do a 2-day type of thing where you just see the first half at home and then the next day you see the rest of it. As I said before, the last hour is very intense. It's just heart-dropping to see what happens and to see just two characters in particular change 360. And I mean, you knew that this was going to happen because you saw this development occur, and you saw that Joe Pesci's character is just constantly trying to warn Al Pacino, and ultimately it just becomes a whole hot mess at the end. And again, I'm not going to go into specific, but it just gets really intense, and you grow an attachment to this particular character, and all of a sudden it just goes out the window. And yeah, I think I gave out too much already. But anyways, speaking of music, I think Martin Scorsese always does a great job, and you know that it's a Martin Scorsese film when you start recognizing those particular songs that he chooses. I definitely enjoyed it. My preference, I have this huge appreciation towards music that has just these specific instruments used throughout the whole movie, or just throughout the whole song in general. What I mean by that is, like, let's say I'm like in jazz, what I especially love is like jazzy saxophone or clarinet, and you just get to hear those brass notes. I really enjoy that. And so for this, it just gives that vibe of that specific time period, and you just definitely, you just like wrap yourself into this, and you jump on board. As you recognize in the trailer, there's so much de-aging effect going on throughout this whole movie. This film has a lot of flashbacks to certain times that explain and advance the story, which I thought it was pretty good. It didn't feel like, oh, we're going back again. Oh man, like, okay, here we go. Like, no, it definitely allowed the viewer to understand what's happening and just carry the story forward. So I thought that was well executed. And also, after the movie theater, I began talking to some of my colleagues, and I know that some people mentioned that they found the de-aging a little bit distracting. I kind of coped, and I understood what they meant. There's certain areas, and I'm not the only one that's gonna talk about this, because I have actually seen other people say the same thing, and this is that there's a particular scene where De Niro and Joe Pesci's character meet for the first time, and they're working on a car. And as it pans to like their arms, you see that the arms kind of, I don't know, it feels like they didn't fix that, or they didn't render it properly, or they just decided not to apply that. I know in certain like interviews or certain like people that did catch up on this, they say that de-aging movements it's kind of difficult. I think I saw it on I don't know if it was the IGN review, or I believe there was one more, but someone said that the Samuel Jackson's character in Captain Marvel, when he's typing, it looks as if it's an old, present Samuel Jackson typing. It's not like a young Samuel Jackson just typing regular. So I guess in that you could also apply it to this film, how you see these characters be aged young and you see their movements still being a little bit old. Another example probably is when you see De Niro's character like hitting this guy on the floor with his feet, and you see his movements being a little bit older. Like you see like it's a regular De Niro just hitting him. Like you don't, because you see him young, but you just see his movements are kind of like his present self, if that makes sense. One thing that I really enjoyed that Martin Scorsese did was describing, well, two things. The first one was breaking the fourth wall with just the monologues that were incorporated in this film, but also he has these certain captions that read how each criminal dies. So you will see in the movie that there's like certain particular men that appear and they have this like description of how they died, whether they got shot this many times. But to me, what I found really funny was just reading those, because there's there's like some that are super funny that they just throw you off a little bit, and I thought that was such a cherry on the top. It was just a really good observation and a really good thing to apply to the film. So I thought that was really interesting. Another sweet addition to the cast was adding Ray Romano as a lawyer in this film. You get that comic relief through him, so I thought that was really clever to use him. Joe Pesci's character, I really grew an attachment to him in the beginning because I saw him as a guardian angel to De Niro's character, but then at the end, things happen, and then I grew this hatred towards him. But then at the end also, as he grows older, he just becomes really, I don't know, I both him and actually all three of them, for me, I just grew like an attachment to them in some way, in shape or form, relating it to like a relative, not in the crime sense, but more like just a humanity type of sense, how like, especially De Niro's character, how he grows older. And to me, I was just thinking like, wow, like if I saw a family relative just be this lonely, like at the end, it just, to me, it would hit me hard. And I think that's what really sold it for me. Grace, who's also another movie reviewer, she mentioned how a movie should start with a bang, and then it should end with a bang. I'm not phrasing it correctly, but basically what she's saying is like it should start big and then also end big. And I think I totally agree with what she says by that, because I totally feel like the ending of the film, especially, you just, how she said, you remember, and you will carry that on afterwards. Like you'll watch the movie and you'll carry that with you. I feel like The Irishman guarantees Netflix in having a film that will gather some nominations during the Oscars and the award season. I would love to see not only Martin Scorsese get Best Director and then the movie be nominated for Best Picture, but I also would like to see De Niro take home the Best Actor nomination and Al Pacino as Best Supporting Role. Again, I feel like this movie does guarantee some nominations, so props to Martin Scorsese and his team. A gentleman asked me, by the name of Jacob, asked me on Instagram, what do I rate this between Scorsese's movies, especially with the mafia movies? Jacob, sorry that I didn't reply to your comment on Instagram, but I want to reply here through the video, and I want to tell you that I definitely think that The Irishman actually falls a little bit under Goodfellas, but it's still an instant classic, and I definitely think that many people will really enjoy this movie. What I liked about Goodfellas is that the pacing was there. Like I never felt like I got bored in a moment within the film. This one, I just felt certain scenes could have been trimmed off and it would have been perfect. I feel like it would have been a superior contender than Goodfellas, but overall, Martin Scorsese never disappoints. During the red carpet, they had different scenarios of the film, because it kind of turned out to be like a photo shoot type of thing where people could just take photos there, and I had a great time. If you follow me on Instagram at Rodas Studios, and also my personal one, Saul Ernesto Rodas, you guys get to see those photos, and I just had a great time being on the carpet. In the premiere, they also gave us this pin. It says, "I'm a friend of Jimmy Hoffa," and you see Al Pacino. I don't know if you guys could, I don't know if it's focused. So they gave us this pin, and then they gave us this other one that says, "We're for Hoffa and his slate, Loco 229. I also got to laminate these. This is the movie pass and also the poster. As you guys could see, I have not only this poster, but I also have the one in the back. So what I was thinking was, for all the viewers watching this video in particular, since I have one already, I want to give away this one. It's just as a thank you. So if you guys are If you guys comment down below what your favorite scene is of The Irishman, or what makes you excited about this movie, let me know, and I'll choose randomly. And so yeah, just like the video, share it, comment down below, subscribe, and you guys are in for a treat. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to just watch it. And if you guys want to see more, please let me know. Stay tuned to my other new videos coming soon and my other reviews. And again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Share it with your friends, your family, and as always, subscribe and check out my reviews. Thank you guys so much. Have a nice night.